And we're back, and you are listening to Villain Cast, BJJ Antiheroes, with myself, Chris, the Villain Pains, and Naki, El Jefe, our Shed. And welcome to New Year, New Reap of the Week. But first, a quick thank you to our members at In Theory BJJ, Concept Driven Jiu-Jitsu, for fight commentary, technique and concept videos, private coaching, monthly webinars and Q&A sessions. Please visit www.patreon.com/InTheoryBJJ. Happy New Year, Nak. Although we have seen each other like two or three times since. Seems a bit odd to say that out loud.
What are we on today? Third or fourth? Fourth, aren't we? Third of Jan.
Third, yeah. Well, no, I think we're recording this at close to midnight, so it's going to be...
Yeah, fourth.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
How have you been? How's
I've
your
been good, man.
holiday?
Been good. I enjoyed it. I did train a little bit, but everything was so quiet. People were injured. People were also ill, and it was just training was, wasn't as consistent. But still did what I could get in. And to be fair, I took some time out a little bit myself as well, so chilled out a bit because I was just in the middle of moving house and stuff. So yeah.
You also refound Call of Duty.
Oh yeah,
so that's taken up most of your time.
Yes. I can't wait to finish this so I can play.
Really?
I've got the itch.
Fuck's sake, just get him off the fucking computer and I can play Call of Duty again.
I'll be like, Chris, jump on, mate. Let's fucking kill some fucking COD people.
I was wondering where you're going with that then. Like, let's kill some fucking children.
We don't want to get flagged.
That ship has sailed. So, yeah. New Year. It's now. I mean, I think being in this now for 15 years. So this would be like my I don't know the maths. 14, 15 years of going through New Year's and new me's. I think it's funny now, like this the desperation that gyms have when starting up a new year. Like every gym, it's almost like it's become a meme unto itself and stereotypical. Where like people are just like, oh yeah, everyone's going to overeat at Christmas, and 2nd January rolls around, New Year, New Me, so just going to roll into the gym and just like, let's just buy some new stuff now because you know that when they arrive, it's going to be raining money, and you see it like they just create so many posts and ways of trying to attract people in, like have a month for free and stuff like that, and I just think it's. So I've been listening to some stuff recently about going viral compared to consistency, which I know this is, slightly weird for me to say this out loud, but I'm aware. Are you getting? Oh, by the way, are you getting a weird background noise every now and then?
No.
Oh, strange. Maybe it's just
me. What is it
like a little weird crackle every now and then. I'm not sure what's causing it.
No.
Hopefully it's not all loose connection somewhere. Let me just feel my cable. There we go. Yeah, so these New Year, New Me kind of resolution ideas. And it's that idea like, okay, you can advertise and make sure people know you're there, but it's consistency month in, month out. Like you can't expect like huge influxes and that virality is going to save you when just be consistent. Just don't just put all your advertising in January, then shut up for the rest of the year. Just keep posting. Just be there and relevant. And it's so much fun. I love, maybe we're not going to get anyone new start because I haven't really done any New Year, New Me advertising. No more than kind of normal, no more posts and stuff like that. But it'd be interesting to see. I always love watching just that first week of people just going mental with advertising. It goes just really quiet like a week later because everyone gets really depressed that there's nothing good happening for a while. Do you have many like?
Yeah, I was just gonna say today the gym was rammed, mate.
Oh no! Imagine they get like loads of people who already have gym memberships because they go, "Oh, I need to get back in the gym." But I imagine
the was rammed today. Rammed.
After a week, I imagine it goes pretty quiet, or 2 weeks.
About near the end of Jan, yeah, first week of Feb, you were like, okay, then here we are, back to the savages who're just going to crack on with it.
I know it's such a weird thing, isn't it? Trying to like
I
keep
know.
people after that period of time, which I know might get a couple of people join, but it's that. I think it goes back into that conversation again of what causes people to stay at jiu-jitsu gyms. I don't think it's jiu-jitsu. I think it's
Social in a social circles and stuff.
yeah, making it fun for people, making that social kind of connection, making it a social club with a jiu-jitsu problem. But other than that, I think it's a lot of fun because then it's especially when every gym is doing it. Like every place you look, it's like a new post saying, "Oh, new year, new me." Come and get a free month, and just like, okay, like which one do I go for when every single gym's saying the exact same thing?
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, so we used to do free sessions or free month and that kind of stuff. In years gone past, when I was trying to figure out how to like do this whole marketing thing, it doesn't actually change anything. Like people want to do jujitsu. If people want to join a gym, if they want to do anything, they will find a way.
Yeah.
Like being free won't attract people that are going to stay. I don't think. If people want to do something, they'll just find a way of doing it.
I think a great concept is the first session free because that way you've tried it, and then you kind of know, do you want to carry on? Do you want to carry on? You know what I mean?
Well, then again, I don't think it actually makes that much of a difference. In that people who want to do it will just come.
Yeah.
People who don't want, like, could you imagine, like, yourself doing anything, like suddenly going, yeah, I want to try this, then looking at it and going, first session isn't free, fuck them.
No.
Like, just like, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, look at it from that perspective of, the things I've wanted to do, like going bouldering or, doing, go swimming or I'm going to go try this, that, or whatever, good rock climbing. I haven't suddenly gone, shit, they make me pay for the first lesson. Fuck them. I'm going to sit at home and do nothing.
But from their point of view, like, if they want to try something and it's like, if they completely hate it, for example, let's say they want to do jiu-jitsu and they completely hate it, and then it's like, and they have a relief that at least the session was free. You know what I mean?
I think it's more a case of if people come in, they'll come in because they want to. But then I'll usually let them have a free session anyway. Like, enjoy that. You don't worry about, don't pay, just if you enjoyed it, come back next time. But I wouldn't necessarily use it as an advertising point because it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Like, people who want to do stuff will do stuff. And if anything, a lot of the people who came in from free sessions rarely stay because if that was like the criteria for you joining, you probably haven't got the
the determination or the motivation to actually, or the discipline to actually do it.
Exactly. Like I was only there because it was free. Okay, well, what happens now when you actually start paying? Oh God. Ooh.
Now we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Exactly. If you want the first session free, you're probably going to want every session free, and then it's probably not for you at that point because jiu-jitsu is a weirdly middle class sport. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Again, I don't think over the years we've had new year, new me-ers. I don't think we've ever had a new year, new me stay. I can't think of anyone.
I can't think of anyone.
I joined because it was new. I had a really bad Christmas. I ate a lot, and I always wanted to try something different in January. Don't exist, and we have done the advertising before. It's not like I've like hidden. It's maybe that just it's a way of explaining motivation on people. If you want to do stuff again, I've said, did you make any resolutions?
No, I don't believe in them.
No, exactly.
I just have like quarterly goals, like 3 monthly goals kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I want to get done, but I would call them resolutions. You know what I mean?
I have a to-do sheet. Like I want it. Like
if
someone asks me what's your resolution for January, I'm like conquer the world still. Like it hasn't changed
exactly.
All year. Like,
the world. I want the world and everything in it.
I'm a villain. My job is to conquer the world. Like it hasn't like, oh no, it's January. Better now plan to conquer the world. It's been the same all year round. People don't get how villains work. We have all year goals. So yeah, well, I guess we'll we'll see tomorrow. It might be a really quiet class. Although right now it has been, a lot of people have been ill. COVID seems to be going around along with God knows how many other things. It just seems to be wiping people out.
Yeah.
Can you really, like, come April, May, it's been, fuck my maths if I'm wrong, 3 years since we came out of it.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like, that huge thing happened.
And it's gone. Like,
and it's been gone for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. Figure that one out.
Yeah.
So all that time where we spent not training was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
How strange. Can't even...
4 years. Flew on it.
It has. Well, I was a 1 year black belt.
I was a people belt.
Now I'm 5 years in at this point for black, and my black belt's looking tired, man. That's one thing, actually. Like, my black belt is looking a bit old. Question: when your get black belt starts to look really old, do you replace it?
I wouldn't throw it away. I'd keep it. I'd probably put it in a trophy case and then just get a new one.
No, have you seen like Chris Houter's black belt? It's just basically just white string at this point.
Yeah, it's just white string, yeah.
That's why I think... You think most belts, you probably only spend... Unless you've got issues with coaches and stuff, or you're just not good. You normally only spend 2-3 years at each belt. 4 years tops. And 4 years, a belt can look maybe a little bit old after 4 years, but it doesn't age. You get a fresh belt all the time. When you get to black belt, that's it. That belt's it then for you, for life. And, 10 years, 15 years on one belt, it's going to look pretty horrendous. And those people who don't wash their belts, fuck them. They can go to hell. Scum.
Gotta wash your belt, man. Gotta wash your belt.
Exactly. It's not like it's got magical powers that are going to stay inside the belt just because you haven't washed it. Oh my god, those people.
Imagine if there's people like that who believe in that shit.
Just wash it. Just if you go chuck your gi in, chuck your belt in. Just seems pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so yours is pretty fresh. It's only 1 year old. 1 year, isn't that crazy? It was 1 year ago. Yeah, don't replace it. Let it grow old, and because that's a scary thing when you go to a seminar or an open mat or a camp or something, and you look across and you see this old looking black belt, and you think they're probably, how long they've been around? Are they just an old person that's got a black belt? And they see the belt and it's just mostly just like shit held together with hope. And you're like, oh no. Like,
to be fair, yourself. Like, I train in the gi, but I don't wear my belt, so mine's going to be all right for a long time.
You have like 3 stripes on it, it's going to look fresh.
Yeah. Can you imagine walking in with 3 stripes, just plain, just still black, pure? And like, what the hell? I'm still training the gi, I just don't wear it.
Yeah. And then we had that whole conversation as well. Do belts even matter? Like, no one in our gym wears a belt. I think I'm the only person who wears a belt.
Yeah.
That's it.
But there's no point because within 5 seconds, it's like, well, gi's already fucking.
You do. You pull my gi clean out of my belt the second we start. And I'm like, fuck you. I've just dressed myself. Why do you have to? I look fly right now. Why do you have to ruin this? Also, I am so happy that this conversation is going a lot smoother than last week.
Oh yes. Yeah, you didn't have to bring last week up. I wanted to forget that.
So if anyone hasn't listened to last week's podcast, I highly recommend not listening to it. We were chemically imbibed, shall we say. And
I was spiked.
You were spiked. What happened to me then?
We were spiked.
It's by the same person.
Maybe.
And then listening, like, dude. And then there's a blooper reel I put on YouTube, and it took 9 attempts to get the thing going, just because we were laughing hysterically. Yeah, it's a nonsense podcast. The Christmas special reaped the week. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, let's not do that again. It was
No.
a terrible plan.
Yeah.
Bad plan. Next thing I want to talk about is New Year. This the mailbag's empty for this week, but it will have some next week. Is round about this time of the year was the Europeans. I guess it's moved now. The IBJJF, and the question is, are the IBJJF even relevant these days? What is the purpose of the IBJJF?
So you just
Do you
said the
believe in them?
Europeans. I don't even know like when the dates for the Europeans and the Worlds are. Like, that's how much I believe in them. Like, I don't know. Like,
Well, I think this has come
it's a
about
private
because haven't
talk.
they just changed the rules?
yeah, they changed some rules which I didn't really look at, but I just thought they must have fucked something else up again. But I think it was something to do with the 50-50 and when I saw the headline. And something Taz was saying about transgender people or something. I can't remember now.
Do they matter
IBJJF?
to the rest of us?
No. It depends
No.
how much it depends on how much value you give to them. They're a private organization at the end of the day. Like, it's not everybody can really compete. You probably got some really good black belts out there who can't compete because like their fees and just how it's how it's organized, how it's done. They have all these opens. And then the Worlds is literally just in America all the time. Like I'm sure IBJJF Worlds are always in America. Yeah,
It's like the World Series of baseball. It's always
yeah,
in
or
America.
like basketball. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know. So no, I think it's just they did what they did originally when they for jiu-jitsu, but I think now it's just turned into they just want to maximize their profits.
Oh yeah, everything is about that.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of competitions, especially more local competitions, kind of base their rule set off the IBJJF.
Yeah,
But again, I just see it as unless you are intent on competing in IBJJF ruled competitions, which again they are not the governing body. They are correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they a private organisation owned by Gracie Barra?
I don't know who owns them, but something to do with the Gracies, ain't it?
Jamie. Oh, we haven't got one of those.
Go check that up for me.
Yeah, I'll check it. I don't want to be the purveyor of fake news on.
Well,
on a,
you're already a villain in Brazil. Now you're gonna have the Gracies after you as well. So
shh,
you hit list,
dude. I wanna be able to do seminars there one day, and having you just.
I'll just laugh.
President of the IBJJF, Carlos Gracie Jr.
There we go.
Yeah, founder of the IBJJF. He is also co-founder of the Gracie Barra team.
Okay, and I'm guessing the other co-founder is probably a steamer, yeah, of Gracie Barra.
No. He's just a UK. Gracie Barra's been around longer than Braulio has.
Oh wow! I had no idea. I always thought Bradley Steamer was the actual main guy for Gracie Barra.
No, he's just obviously just one of the guys in the
like the UK face.
GB was 1986.
Nice.
Yeah, by Carlos Gracie Jr. So IBJJF. Owned by the same guy who started Gracie Barra. And so again, it's that if that isn't a conflict of interest when it comes to a governing body, I don't know what is. Like that's like the FA or FIFA being owned by Manchester United. Like we started FIFA and we also own Manchester United. You think that's a bit of there's something wrong there. Again, I've said this before. Fuck them, because they are the reason why we can never be taken seriously as like an Olympic sport or something, because we're not, our biggest body, which kind of makes sure that other bodies are choked out, to use a better term, of being taken seriously. Yeah, no pun intended. Isn't a non partisan governing body, and they're not a non-profit. And we need, to be considered Olympic sport, again, I don't want to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but you need to have a legit world championships, which happens at least 4 times, run by a non-profit organization. Wrestling's got FILA, football's got the FA. Okay, they've all got their own issues. Corruption be corruption, but at least they're not owned by an individual team.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what we have is put a natural block on our sport, and that's what I mean. So it's like, again, the people who own Gracie Barra are the same people making the rules for the rest of us. The majority of us then go and follow, and so I'm just like, you know what, fuck them. Like, Gracie, literally, like, we're a part of a team, and the Gracie Barra have just turned around and gone, yeah, well, we think this is going to be the rules now, and we're like, and so, okay. And the fact that other competitions then adopt that, I'm like, why are we giving them so much credit when it's really not worth it? Like,
Yep.
At least the ADCCs don't hide the fact that they are the Abu Dhabi Combat Club.
Yeah.
And it's, again, I personally, some people may see it differently, people who are more into like the regular jiu-jitsu sphere, but personally, I do not see much relevance to the IBJJF.
I hold ADCC very highly. Like, I like their rule set. I like how they run their competition and how it's done. It's very good. I mean, it could probably be made better in some ways, but it's for grappling itself as a rule set and for what it does for the sport, it's the best, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, completely. And lots to be said about a lot of the submission only events, because they do really good work when it comes to actually figuring out decent rule sets for the rest of people to follow. Like EBI, the amount of competitions that adopted EBI rules and had overtimes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think fantastic. Like, good on them. Let's entertain that a bit more. But when it comes
I remember
to
I was doing EBI when we used to train. When it was like quite big EBIs and stuff, we used to train for EBI rule sets, didn't we? We used to put
getting ready for them.
Yeah. And we haven't done that for a while now because it's kind of died out, hasn't it? The EBI rule set.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of them have those like nice little rule sets like Polaris and Grapple Fest, to name some of the UK brands. So any news that kind of passes my eyes when it comes to IBJJF, I'm like, and I don't care. The fact that, Belt Checker, to my knowledge, is the reason why Globetrotters got kicked out of being allowed to be at IBJJF competitions.
Oh.
Like, I'm pretty, like, they say it's maybe other reasons, but when Graugart created Belt Checker, it basically flew in the face of what the IBJJF are doing. Like, you've got to register your black belt, and you've got to register every year and stuff like that. The way, and again, this is like, I know Graugart puts a really good point across when it comes to this, is the idea of stripes on a black belt, is basically keep all black belts relevant. Is that you think you have to be a monster to get a black belt usually. But as you get older, you're not going to be the same monster anymore. Like Chuck Liddell in MMA isn't the Chuck Liddell from 15, 20 years ago. He is a slow, old man now. But how do you keep black belts relevant then when they get old and slow? Give them tabs on their belts. And how do you put tabs on your belts? Well, you got to give special reverence to the person above you, 2 belts above, 3 belts above you, to make sure you get that new stripe on your belt. And you got to keep paying the IBJJF or it doesn't count. And you think, oh my God, really? And then Belt Checker comes around and goes, no, fuck it. We'll police it in a logical way and fuck this whole paying each other to be, I've got to pay this company and organization. I've got to have still affiliated to this person if I'm expected to get another stripe in 3 years' time. Fuck all of that. Let's just all the especially black belts is time. And, if 3 years pass and everyone suddenly goes, man, yeah, they're a good black belt. Cool. And we'll vote on it. And I think just doing that kind of riled them up so much. They're like, Globetrotters can't be here anymore. You can't come and play in our club. Cool. Nice. Nicely done. Professional.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Probably because they're not invited.
Probably.
But also, like, again, it's And it's actually, I was pondering this when it came to like, I didn't know, because obviously I didn't know if you were going to be free today for this conversation. Was this idea that so there's a current uh the thing that we were pushing when it came to getting up and posture and stuff like that, and that's kind of, people are just a lot better now at holding each other down, and that's one thing I find about when you have restrictive rule sets and little things kind of come out, is that then you have these peaks in jiu-jitsu, like legs. 10 years ago, no one could play legs because the IBJJF ruled the roost, and so anyone who could like play legs when these open format competitions came around, demons. Now like legs are kind of like anything else, like
Yeah,
Kimuras.
part of the sport, yeah. Like fully integrated now.
Exactly, it's just a part of the game. And then this whole thing about getting up, and that, if you're someone who could get back to their feet, you would a pain in the ass. But then the amount of gyms that could be adopting this idea of get up, wrestle up, stand up, all this kind of stuff, eventually we're going to know how to shut that down. There just becomes another part of the sport. And so that makes me think then about these little peaks that kind of appear, these niches of the sport. They are all based upon the rule sets. And the more we've moved away from the IBJJF into more open rule sets like ADCC, the more we found these kind of gaps in our knowledge. We then exploit them, and then everyone catches up. And it just makes me think, like, what's the next? I didn't see wrestling up being a big thing, but who the fuck knows? Maybe judo's the next thing to come around.
I mean, people already started trips in. There's been a wave of adding trips in and sweeps, standing sweeps. Like when we wrestle now, it's part of it. Even though we haven't really learned how to like foot sweep, but we make them work.
Dude, it's made me. I think it's when I was doing these seminars in Europe. One thing I'd be saying on them is the fact that we don't have a wrestling program. We don't wrestle. I don't even teach takedowns. Yet the mat returns and the drag downs and the throws everyone's doing is we get called wrestlers. I'm like, we don't even do wrestling, which is hilarious. We're not even a wrestling club. We don't even do wrestling. We just do jiu-jitsu. We just stood up every now and then with some decent hand fighting. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I'd be interested to see what the next niche is when these kind of rule sets open up. And again, because I've been around long enough to remember when, in the days of more guard based stuff, and then rubber guard was the thing, and like lockdowns and twisters and that kind of stuff. You could catch people in wild shit because wild shit wasn't well known. It was all very by the book, closed guard, half guard, butterfly guard, regular stuff. And then all of a sudden, all this twisty shit comes in, and everyone's like, whoa, I don't have to deal with it. Now, how many people do you see playing rubber guard? If I ever come across someone who's playing rubber guard, I'm like, you found a book from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're confused.
I just stack them on the head, man. I'm like, son, you ain't got a clue. That shit was like a long time ago.
Does anyone, like, maybe you'll hit the odd twister just for a giggle, but does anyone play rubber guard? Does anyone play any of those kind of guards? It's very rare that I come across anyone who even remotely tries that kind of, maybe like a white belt that has found like, submissions 101 or something, or.
And if they do try, they just get like completely obliterated. Like they just because they just bring in their legs up so high, they just get stacked, man. I just stack them every time. I just stay heavy.
Fundamentals. You can't beat solid fundamentals. And I don't mean that in the case of, close guards and, half guards and side controls. I mean just fundamental understanding of jiu-jitsu. You can't beat it. And no matter how complicated people try and make things,
there's an answer.
It'll always be boiled down to the fundamentals again. Yeah. Always. And it makes it boring. I was saying this in a couple of privates, is that you've got a choice, is that you can either be strategically smart and do the right thing, or you can have fun. And I'd say, make sure you practice being strategically smart and doing the right thing to the point where, and do it consistently for like a year. Then you can choose whether you want to be good or not. But don't just think, I'm just going to do wild shit and
But
hopefully I turn out good one day. No, fucking
well,
do jiu-jitsu right, and then maybe.
when our roles are both when we're both fighting strategically smart, they're the most boring and longest roles that we have. But when we're both having fun, mate, like it's just constant next level shit going on. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, non-stop scrambles. You know what I mean? Because you're just open to everything. But when we're just not giving anything to each other, it's so like one of us has to be like, just come on, just take something. Like let's get the roll moving a bit.
It's a game of venture. It's like you're waiting for the other person to make a fuck up, and then you capitalize. I guess having no time limits on that does make it more like a war of attrition. You got to wait for the other person to get tired. You got to cook them a lot, and that's the other thing as well. Like having more open time limits definitely introduces this idea of understand how to cook people, and understand how to like makes you appreciate being on top more. Instead of just trying to find those kind of quick subs, but understanding dominance and understanding pressure. And like one thing I've actually been doing recently for a couple of people is when they're passing guard, is I put a stopwatch next to my head, like my phone or something, and I say, right, if you get to a stable point where there's pressure on me during the pass, stay still for 5 seconds. Instead of just being dynamic and moving all the time, just hold it for 5 seconds. Let the pressure work. Because if you're moving, you're taking weight off me in some way.
Yeah.
Like you can't move a limb without taking weight off it, unfortunately.
And you're tiring yourself by moving around so much.
Tiring yourself. Also, like you're not allowing pressure to do its thing. Like you're just putting stuff on and taking it off again. It's like, no, just allow it to sit. 5 seconds. What's 5 seconds? But 5 seconds for the person underneath who's eating pressure is miserable.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm actually tempted to do a session on it, and we'll record it and see what happens. But yeah, allowing people just to do like, all right, I'll project the time onto the wall or something, and allow 5 seconds of pressure. Ooh, I think it'll be a fun session. That will.
Yeah, that will be fun. Because that's what I do. I just stop and wait, and I'm like, okay, let's just wait here for a bit. We both do it to each other.
Stable pressure, allow pressure to work.
Yeah.
But again, like I think when you're quite new and you just want to, and when you're scared of the guard, and you think I want to get out of this situation, you're more dynamic and you make more mistakes. But I think if you can find a posture that keeps you safe and you can not be intimidated by the guard and lock it in a lot tighter with pressure, you can just chill. Give it 5 seconds and then make a move. Another 5 seconds, then make a move. You can do that 12 times in a minute, and you'll make progress. And the other person will be exhausted because just holding your legs up as a guard player while someone's lying on it, because you're holding up your abs, you're holding up their weight, you're holding up your hip flexors, your quads. Everything's just going to get burnt. And I think we should record that. We'll do that tonight.
It's a session with doing.
So anyone listening to this who's curious about what happens when you just make people slow the fuck down in guard, watch the YouTube channel. There's a video coming up imminently. Probably by the time you've listened to this, if it's Friday, it'll probably be already up.
Yeah.
Depending how busy I have been. Yeah, I think so. What are your plans then for the next year? What are your plans for training in the next year? For competing or anything?
Oh, for competing up to now, I've got my plans till like Ramadan. So Ramadan starts mid-March. Well, just at the end part of March. So I've got obviously that 25th Feb, I'm competing on that ASW thing. And then I am great comp, by the way. I'm going to give them a shout out because they are sick. Like they're one of the best run comps I've come across. Just how they run it. Yeah, it's just so smooth and just like it's no fucking around. Just straight to the business, getting the job done. And they're on it, and just the filming and the way they organize it. It's all dead professional, man. It's very good. And then I've got the Amsterdam camp after for a week, and then I've got the Amsterdam Open after that. So that's me till March. So I've just, started in my head camp again. So I'm on it at the moment, 2 days in.
I hope the best I can.
Oh yeah, I know. We're rolling a lot at the moment.
Yeah,
Loving it.
Dude.
Fucking body takes a beating though.
That's the thing, like, okay, yeah, I might get you, but then it's the next 3 days it's take to recover. Like, I like how we rolled the other day, and when we came to roll a couple of days later, we're like, my hands still hurt, like from that 28-minute roll we had. Yeah, man, that was rough. Yeah, well, I didn't say new year, new me or anything like that, and making resolutions, but yeah, consistency. I mean, it was one thing I remember Christian again saying a couple of years, or when I first met him 11 years ago, is that if you're serious about jiu-jitsu, like, just do something for a year, like a technique or an idea, and just make sure every role you have, you do that technique. Like, if you want to do pressure, just spend a year doing pressure then. Every role, put pressure in. Or if you want to if you want to get good at triangles, every role, do a triangle. Even if you fuck up and get passed and shit like that, just do it. Just make sure you put in that triangle in and see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think spelling that out. If you are serious about jiu-jitsu and you think you're going to be in this sport forever, choose something and do it. You know, we're doing this at the beginning of January. Do that technique now till this time next year. Fail a million times, and you'll know a million different ways not to do it. And you'll be a badass at that technique in 1 year's time. Just be consistent. Pick a bunch of techniques and just do them every single roll. I've been doing that since I was a white belt. I took it longer than a year. Like, remember when I went for that pressure phase where I spent 5 years doing pressure?
Yeah.
The misery.
Cracking ribs.
But now I'm so happy that I can just pull it out of the bag. I researched it enough. And same with this whole getting to your feet and wrestle ups and posture. I've got no intention of skipping out of that for another year. I'm just going to be doing that all of the time. Every roll. Posture, stand up, improve my posture, alignment. And if I get swept or rolled or choked or armbarred or leg locked, cool. I know another way not to do it. And my goal is in 1 year's time to have an unbreakable posture and alignment. It might take 2 years. Who knows? Yeah. But anyone listening, if you're serious about jiu-jitsu and you think you're going to be in this forever, there's my New Year advice for you. Just find something now, find something you enjoy that you might be okay at, make it a terrifying part of your arsenal. Just do it every single day. Every roll, you have to pull it off once. Fail a million times. And talk to me in 1 year's time. Oh, positive message. Yeah. It's not like us.
We're positive, aren't we?
We are quite positive.
That's what I'm saying. We're always positive.
I'm also excited for this next year of like the amount of content we can put up online.
Yeah. Like
everything's looking so good right now.
The consistency we've been keeping, like, and how we're on it. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. We've got a lot of shit planned. I know your seminars are planned till March as well. Have you got anything planned after yet? Or
there's there's a ecological camp happening in Europe.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, with some interesting people. You heard it here first. I know. Oh, I know.
Interesting people.
Yeah. Interesting people. Ecological people. It'd be interesting. Yeah, so look out for that one. I'll be there, apparently. We'll see. I've got a couple of seminars in April as well, so I'm pretty much booked up till April, May. I've just had some May interest, so June, July? Oh, shit. No, I might be actually fucked up till August.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got stuff going on every month. I know, man. It's wild. It's going to be a big year for In Theory, for Villain, for El Jefe. It's going to be a busy year for all of us. Fit. I know. Time to feel motivated. I'm feeling motivated.
Yeah.
Also, the new we just had the go ahead today for the new Fanatics DVD, which we'll be recording soon. Everything's ready to record. Dude, and especially if we can get yours out there as well.
I know.
Oh, what a big year this is going to be. I can feel it in me. This has been another Reap the Week.
Oh, yes.
I'll leave you to your evening. I don't want to take a cod away from you.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to rush.
I've got the university in the morning.
Yes.
Domestic violence research. Weird.
Yeah.
So we'll put an end to this Reap the Week. Tune in next week and please, if you have any questions, send them across on the Discord, on the YouTube, on the Instagram posts, wherever you find us. We love answering questions on here. And look out for the new content we're creating, especially this new video about slow passing, which we'll make.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
I've got a couple of classes I need to film. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night,
See
everyone.
you tomorrow.
It's been Read the Week.
Yeah.